Great Men Die Twice, the selected works of Mark Kram. It was only a moment, sliding past the eyes like the sudden shifting of light and shadow. But long years from now, it will remain a pure and moving glimpse of hard reality. And if Muhammad Ali could have turned his eyes upon himself, what first and final truth would he have seen? He had been led up the winding, red-carpeted staircase by Imelda Marcos, the First Lady of the Philippines, as guest of honor at the Malacañang Palace. Soft music drifted from the terrace as the beautiful Imelda guided the massive and still heavyweight champion of the world to the long buffet ornamented by a huge candelabra. The two whispered, then she stopped and filled his plate. And as he waited, the candles threw an eerie light across the face of a man who only a few hours before had survived the ultimate inquisition of himself and his art. The maddest of existentialists, one of the great surrealists of our time, the king of all he sees, Ali had never before appeared so vulnerable and fragile, so pitiably unmajestic, so far from the universe he claims as his alone. He could barely hold his fork, and he lifted the food slowly up to his bottom lip, which had been scraped pink. The skin on his face was dull and blotched, drained of that familiar childlike wonder. His right eye was a deep purple beginning to close, a dark blind being drawn against a harsh light. He chewed his food painfully, and then he suddenly moved away from the candles as if he had become aware of the mask he was wearing, as if an inner voice were laughing at him. He shrugged, and the moment was gone. A couple of miles away, in the bedroom of a villa, the man who has always demanded answers of Ali, has trailed the champion like a timber wolf, lay in semi-darkness. Only his heavy breathing disturbed the quiet as an old friend walked to within 2 feet of him. "Who is it?" asked Joe Frazier, lifting himself to walk around. "Who is it? I can't see. I can't see. Turn the lights on." Another light was turned on, but Frazier still could not see. The scene cannot be forgotten. This good and gallant man lying there, embodying the remains of a will never before seen in a ring, a will that had carried him so far, and now surely too far. His eyes were only slits. His face looked as if it had been painted by Goya. "Man, I hit him with punches that'd bring down the walls of a city," said Frazier. "Lawdy, lawdy, he's a great champion." Then he put his head back down on the pillow, and soon there was only the heavy breathing of a deep sleep, slapping like big waves against the silence. Time may well erode that long morning of drama in Manilla, but for anyone who was there, those faces will return again and again to evoke what it was like when two of the greatest heavyweights of any era met for a third time and left millions limp around the world. Muhammad Ali caught the way it was. It was like death, closest thing to dying that I know of.